Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of UCPS Now, a show that will highlight Union County Public Schools students, staff, and schools. I'm Tahira Stalberte, Chief Communications Officer for the district. This month's show will give you a chance to meet the Forest Hills High School senior who was the first recipient of the John H. Crowder Service Award, and a closer look at two UCPS academies that promise to make our world a safer place, Piedmont and Sun Valley High School's Public Safety Academies. This is UCPS Now. As we start the school year, we have some good news to share about ACT scores and the graduation rate. Results from the ACT College Readiness Exam confirmed that the Union County Public Schools district average rose in English, math, reading, and science. The overall composite increased from 19.9 in 2013 to 20.3 in 2014. In addition, UCPS outperformed the state in all areas. The data released in August reflects scores for 2014 graduates. The ACT consists of curriculum-based tests in 4 areas: English, math, reading, and science. It is designed to measure the skills needed for success in first-year college coursework. And UCPS's 4-year graduation cohort rose to 92.6% in 2014, up from 90.8% in 2013. Of the 10 largest school districts in North Carolina, Union County Public Schools leads with the highest graduation rate in the state. The North Carolina Department of Public Instruction released the data September 4th during its State Board of Education meeting. This is the highest graduation rate for UCPS to date. The district has shown a steady gain in the graduation rate since 2010. The North Carolina graduation rate is 83.8. 8 of UCPS 12 traditional high schools had a graduation rate of 90% or higher. At 99.4%, Marvin Ridge High had the highest graduation rate for 2014, followed by Weddington High at 99.1%. With the 2014-15 school year well underway, we want to remind parents to remember to fill out and return all the paperwork from your student's school. UCPS Now is proud to present this next segment. Forest Hills High School senior J.B. Helms is the first recipient of the John H. Crowder Service Award, named for the late John Crowder, known for being a champion of children, a man who dedicated 31 years of his life to the service of public schools. The award was presented by Mr. Crowder's widow, Minnie Crowder, during the September 2nd Board of Education meeting held at Union Elementary School. Criteria for winning the John H. Crowder Service Award are that students must be not only academically successful, but also have an established history of community service in more than one area or with more than one organization. Jesse is a 17-year-old senior who has dedicated his life to serving others. Let's take a closer look at this fine young man.
He was so eager to get a lot of things done and to let it be known that all children were the same, different colors, but they're the same in heart. So I'm so proud that they decided to do this tribute to him because he deserves every bit of it. But he was a man that got up every morning when he was ready to go out. He dressed. I used to get after John, why don't you put on something casual? No, I'm going, to represent. And I don't know whether they ever saw him at a school board meeting without a tie. But he was a very humble man, but very strict in what he said. He believed in what he said, and he didn't speak often, but when he spoke, he meant exactly what he said. So I'm glad that they are doing this to honor him. He needs it. I am just proud to know, and I'm sure whoever these students are, they are worthy. I know they've been chosen, and they are getting an award for Mighty Fine Man. In his honor.
Whenever the discussion came up about which student in the Forest Hills cluster would be chosen for the initial John Crowder Community Service Award, I was meeting with all of the principals within the Forest Hills cluster, and J.B. Helms is a student who's gone to school all the way from elementary through high school in our cluster, and his name came up not just from me, his current principal at Forest Hills, but past principals mentioned his name right away because they've kept up with him as he's gone on, and they know how active he has been, not only within Forest Hills, but within the wider community, being involved in several community service projects. And more importantly, he's been the leader of some of those community service projects that have been phenomenal efforts on part of our student body and at his church and other organizations within the community to help those people in our community who need extra help. So J.B. Helms was an obvious, almost unanimous choice among us in the Forest Hills cluster for this initial award of John Crowder Community Service.
Son of two teachers, and so a servant heart has been instilled in me since birth. I am a part of a missions-oriented church, Haker Grove Baptist Church in Charlotte, and their motto is "Live Sent." And so since my freshman year, I have really dedicated my life to serving others. A few examples. Here in Marshville, there's a Meshibbetheth horse farm, and what they do is they participate in equine therapy with autistic children, and so I volunteered there, and I led a horse around for an autistic kid named JT, and JT is a very rambunctious young boy, and just kind of it's really personal because like the third day that I volunteered there, he gave me a hug and he kissed me on the cheek and told me that he loved me. And like that stuff just really makes me feel warm all the way up to from head to toe, and so that's what community service. I think it's about personal. It's about establishing relationships, and it's about giving back to your community.
What's your emergency? I need help, please! Please help me! We are sending out emergency services to your location. I'll stay on the phone with you until I get there. I hear the sirens.
Imagine if you could graduate from high school well on your way to being proficient in a new job skill. Union County Public Schools is making that aspiration a reality by offering more than 20 academies in the county's high school setting. One of these academies, the Public Safety Firefighter Technology Academy, held at both Piedmont and Sun Valley high schools, not only guarantees invaluable experience for these students, but it also offers Office of State Fire Marshal certification. That means these students can get a job as a firefighter anywhere in the United States.
Our public safety, our goal is to introduce them to emergency services, help them understand the principles of what it takes to work for emergency services. Our three priorities are to teach you professionalism, respect, and safety. We want to introduce them from everything from FBI to SBI to corrections for federal and state level and to law enforcement and sheriff's office, and then EMS for our county, and of course other programs like tribal and federal. And then on the fire side, we're strictly geared toward firefighting, which is North Carolina, which is accepted by many other states and several other countries. Once they get certified in high school, they're eligible for hire by any career department or accepted by volunteer departments throughout the nation.
The fact that we have actual firefighters come out and they also help train us in the program and help us get better experience than what we would get just in a normal classroom. It's a lot of hands-on experience.
you're never really all the way 100% prepared when you walk in. Every situation is different. Every EMS call is different. Every law enforcement call is different. Every fire call is different. We don't have a typical response or call. Everything is different. So we try to prepare them for worst case scenario.
Now, hold on now. Who's making that call? My future paramedic? We're going to drag somebody's feet first. Reposition the person. It doesn't matter if we get them out, dead when they're alive when we have them. Reposition and drag correctly.
Alright, swing back around, 10 down. 1, 2, 3. Trevor, where you at? 1, 3.
Done?
Rescue 1, 2, RC.
Guys, there's too much radio traffic. I got 2 people calling me one time. Who's calling in?
It's good for the community because it allows us to involve stakeholders such as the Unionville Fire Department, which we have witnessed already, and they work well paired with our staff as well as with our students. And it also gives our students a look at what they could possibly do with the experiences that they're gaining once they leave Piedmont High School.
I just like the overall of it. I just love knowing that I'm in high school and I'm training for something I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and it's helped me not just with firefighting but also integrity and just honestly just living a good life, and it's a great class.
What are you getting out of it?
I'm getting my Firefighter 1 certification, so when I graduate I'll be fully certified and I can go straight into the workforce.
You want to go into fire service or EMT training?
I'm going to get my EMT in November, and then I'm going to go in with my EMT and my fire.
That's with that. But that sets the pressure at 4,500 so that there's no danger of overfilling the bottles and the bottles rupture. Because those are 4,500 PSI bottles. There are some.
There's no mystery on why everybody else is running out and we're running in. Firefighters are a select few, and the way I feel is if I properly train them and prepare them for the hazard that's going to happen, then they will feel more comfortable when it comes time to crossing that line and going through that door.